By the Earth calendar, it was June 13, 2091. Humanity had long outgrown Earth's boundaries, scattering across the solar system like seeds seeking fertile ground. Ships patrolled the vast reaches between planets, and humanity's presence extended far beyond the lunar bases and Martian colonies. Leading this wave of exploration was the vessel Unity, captained by the seasoned and composed Idris Lorne. Captain Lorne had a reputation for venturing into the unknown with an unyielding sense of purpose, tempered by caution. But even he wasn't prepared for what awaited them as Unity approached the dark, frozen expanse beyond Neptune. Floating in silence near a hidden cluster of asteroids was an object that defied all expectation. A monolithic structure, seemingly untouched by time, suspended in the vast emptiness. Lorne observed the monolith from the bridge, its surface shimmering faintly with strange inscriptions. "Prepare a survey," he ordered, glancing at Dr. Arya Sandoval, the ship's chief scientist, who looked equally captivated and unnerved. "This is unprecedented," Dr. Sandoval murmured. "It's as though it's been waiting for us." As the crew launched their initial scans, the monolith responded. A faint, rhythmic signal pulsed from its surface, reaching out like a beacon. For a moment, silence filled the ship, then data flooded their screens, a language, fragments of images, and a star map displaying coordinates in a galaxy far beyond human reach. "Captain," Dr. Sandoval whispered, her eyes wide with awe, "this isn't just a relic, it's a message." The initial data indicated that the monolith wasn't of human origin, but hinted at an ancient civilization that once roamed the stars, guiding and teaching young species before vanishing from history. It was an invitation, or perhaps a warning. Unexpected observers. But humanity wasn't the only race to notice the monolith's activation. Deep within the Zelleran Empire, the activation signal echoed, catching the attention of strategist Thorin, a Zelleran commander with a keen interest in Earth's young species. To Axaren and his kind, humans were a peculiar anomaly, a race known for pushing limits, defying norms, and thriving under pressure. "The humans have triggered the artifact," Soren observed, his tone a mixture of curiosity and concern. "Do they realize what they've awoken?" "Should we intervene, Commander?" asked one of his officers, glancing warily at the hologram of the monolith. Thorin pondered this carefully. The Zelleran Empire had watched humanity's progress with both intrigue and caution, unsure whether to view them as allies or adversaries. But this monolith held secrets of a civilization that, even by Zelleran standards, was ancient. Secrets that, if in the wrong hands, could alter the balance of power across the galaxy. "No," Soren finally replied. "We watch and wait. If humans come to understand the full power of that artifact, they'll become a threat. Until then, we gather information." Human curiosity awakens. Back on the Unity, Dr. Sandoval was deep in analysis, her eyes glued to a holographic display that projected the monolith's inscriptions. As she decoded fragments of its message, it became clear that this wasn't just a relic, it was a guide, a remnant of an era where starfaring races coexisted and shared knowledge. "This artifact is designed to be a bridge," Dr. Sandoval explained to Lorne, her voice trembling with excitement. "It's like a beacon for civilizations, calling them to unite and share what they've learned. We could be looking at the foundation of an intergalactic alliance." The captain remained cautious. "So you're saying this could be a path forward for us, if we're not the only ones who heard that call?" Just then, the ship's communication systems began picking up an encoded transmission, the source of which was unlike anything they had encountered before. Alien data flowed across their screens, filled with complex algorithms and encrypted messages that hinted at surveillance. "Someone's watching us," Lorne muttered. He turned to his crew, knowing that whatever came next, humanity was no longer alone in the dark. A troubling realization. The Unity was now both a target and a focal point. As Lorne pondered their next move, Dr. Sandoval's scans detected faint traces of an ancient power signature embedded within the monolith. one capable of generating vast energy fields or shielding against cosmic threats. This technology could protect Earth from solar flares or even power interstellar travel, Dr. Sandoval said, her voice filled with wonder. It's a gift, but I'm not sure if it was intended for us alone. Captain Lorne's resolve hardened. If there are others out there watching, we need to make sure humanity is prepared. If this technology is meant to bring civilizations together, we must understand it before they do. In that moment, he knew their mission had transformed from mere exploration into a defense of humanity's future, a quest to master secrets that had been left for those bold enough to answer the call. And so, with newfound determination, Unity prepared to delve deeper into the monolith's mysteries, while the alien observers plotted their own response. Humanity's path was no longer a question of if they could survive in the galaxy, but if they were ready to lead. Back aboard the Unity, Dr. Sandoval worked tirelessly, analyzing every intricate detail of the monolith's inscriptions. The patterns were complex, resembling a language that seemed to twist and shift with each glance, as if it were testing her understanding. She felt a strange thrill, a mixture of fear and wonder, at being the first human to decode something so ancient and alien. The crew watched in silence as Dr. Sandoval manipulated holographic displays, her mind racing with theories. Eventually, her efforts bore fruit, a partial decryption of the monolith's purpose. It was not only a beacon, but also a map, leading to a vast repository of knowledge hidden somewhere far from Earth. Captain Lorne, Dr. Sandoval began, turning to face him, her voice barely containing her excitement. The monolith isn't just sending a signal, it's giving us coordinates, directions to a cache of technology beyond anything we've ever imagined. If we follow it, we might find answers to questions we haven't even thought to ask. Captain Idris Lorne weighed her words carefully. What kind of technology are we talking about, Dr. Sandoval? Are we sure we're ready to open this Pandora's box? Dr. Sandoval nodded, her eyes glinting with the fervor of discovery. It speaks of fusion power beyond our current understanding, gravity manipulation, and something that sounds suspiciously like time dilation fields. This could be the breakthrough that not only safeguards Earth, but propels humanity to the stars. The weight of her words settled on the crew. Humanity had yearned for this, an answer, a leap forward. But with every technological gift came the risk of overreach. Captain Lorne knew this well, having witnessed how quickly curiosity could lead to catastrophe. Yet, he couldn't ignore the allure of the unknown. "Prepare the engines," he commanded, his gaze steady and resolute. "Let's see where this path leads." Alien fears. Meanwhile, aboard the Zelleron command ship, Kacharin monitored the humans' every move with keen interest. His officers watched the humans prepare to follow the monolith's guidance, their expressions a mixture of wariness and contempt. "Commander, should we allow them to access this ancient knowledge?" asked one of his advisors, a creature with sharp features and calculating eyes. "They're reckless. Such power is dangerous in hands as impulsive as theirs." Soren pondered this. Humans, in his experience, were unpredictable. They were known to rally against impossible odds, displaying a resilience that even the Zellerons had grown to respect and fear. But something else gnawed at Soren, a sense that humanity's discovery of the monolith was not by chance. It was as if the artifact had been waiting for their kind. "No," Soren finally replied, his voice low and steady. "If they gain access to those secrets, it could destabilize the entire galaxy. We will intercept them before they can understand the full scope of the monolith's knowledge." He signaled to his fleet. Zelleron ships shifted in formation, preparing to confront Unity and prevent the humans from advancing further. It was a delicate decision, one that could either ensure their control or unleash an unintended consequence. The human spirit. Back on the Unity, the journey was tense. As they drew nearer to the coordinates embedded within the monolith's message, the crew felt the weight of their mission grow. They were venturing into a region where human eyes had never gazed before, driven by a collective yearning that transcended their individual fears. Captain Lorne paced the bridge, his mind racing. He knew this endeavor was more than just another mission. It was a testament to humanity's place among the stars. Humans were still young by galactic standards, often underestimated, even by themselves. But here they were, following a trail set by an ancient civilization, proving to themselves and the galaxy that they were ready to explore, ready to understand, and most importantly, ready to adapt. Dr. Sandoval's voice broke the silence, filled with awe. "Captain, the energy readings are off the charts. Whatever is out there, it's alive in some way, like it's been waiting for us." Before Captain Lorne could respond, a jarring alarm sounded, jolting the crew from their thoughts. A massive Zelleran ship had appeared on their sensors, blocking their path. Soren's face flickered onto their communication screen, his expression cold and unwavering. "Humans, turn back now," Soren demanded, his voice laced with authority. "You are tampering with forces beyond your comprehension. Leave, and we will allow you to return to your home in peace." Captain Lorne held his ground, his gaze unwavering. "Commander Soren, this is as much our galaxy as it is yours. We seek only knowledge, not power. You can't expect us to turn away." Soren's eyes narrowed. "If you continue, you will face the consequences of your own arrogance." An unexpected ally. Just as tension reached its peak, a third signal appeared on their sensors. Another fleet, smaller and faster, emerged from the darkness. They were allies of humanity from a distant colony, who had intercepted a distress signal sent from Unity before the Zelleran arrival. Seeing humanity surrounded, they came to offer assistance. Captain Lorne came the voice of Commander Rena Ortiz of the allied vessel Starwind. "We're here to ensure you're not bullied off your path. Humanity has a right to uncover its own destiny." Soren's demeanor shifted as he assessed the situation. This new fleet tipped the balance. Humanity wasn't just a wandering young species. They had allies, and they were willing to protect each other against even the strongest of galactic empires. Captain Lorne turned to Soren, a quiet challenge in his voice. "Commander, we don't want a war, but if you stand in the way of our progress, we will defend ourselves." Soren studied the humans on his screen, their resolve, their unity, and their stubborn refusal to yield. It was a force he had underestimated, and perhaps even admired, though he would never admit it. "Very well," Soren replied at last, the faintest hint of respect flickering in his expression. "Proceed, humans. But know this, once you cross this line, there is no turning back. You will bear the responsibility of whatever consequences arise." With the path clear, the Unity and its allied fleet pressed forward, moving closer to the unknown. Humanity's quest for understanding was relentless, and the Zellerans would watch, wondering if they had just allowed the galaxy's future to change in ways none could foresee. As they closed in on the monolith's coordinates, the crew felt the pull of the ancient secrets, a reminder that humanity's journey had only just begun. The coordinates from the monolith led the Unity to a dark, empty stretch of space near a dying star. The star pulsed weakly, casting a faint, eerie glow over a metallic structure floating in its orbit. Unlike the monolith, this structure was massive, stretching out like an ancient alien fortress left to decay over countless centuries. Its surface shimmered with the same inscriptions found on the monolith, yet these carvings seemed darker, more complex, as if hiding layers of meaning lost to time. Dr. Sandoval, her face illuminated by the holographic readouts, worked quickly to analyze the energy readings. "Captain, whatever this is, it's far older than the monolith, and it's leaking power on a scale we can't even begin to measure." Captain Lorne, watching the structure from the bridge, felt a mix of excitement and unease. This was more than he had bargained for. He knew they stood at the threshold of something monumental, but he couldn't shake the feeling that they were about to unleash something far beyond their control. "Proceed with caution," he ordered, voice steady despite his apprehension. "We're here for answers, not recklessness." The crew approached the ancient structure in small exploratory vessels, and as they neared, the fortress responded, activating a series of massive, intricately designed gates that slowly swung open. A dark corridor loomed ahead, a passage into the unknown. The pathway to knowledge. Dr. Sandoval's small team, along with a few trusted members of Lorne's crew, carefully maneuvered into the fortress, their vessel's lights illuminating alien symbols lining the walls. The air inside seemed thick with the weight of history, as though the passage had been sealed not just physically, but by the silence of ages. At the end of the corridor lay a chamber, circular and dimly lit, filled with objects that appeared to be both organic and mechanical. In the center of the room was a pedestal holding a crystalline device, pulsing with a faint, steady rhythm. Dr. Sandoval realized this was the source of the power signature they had detected. "This device, it feels like it's watching us," murmured one of the crew members, unease creeping into his voice. Dr. Sandoval approached the device, hand outstretched. "It's a repository of knowledge," she whispered. "All that this ancient civilization learned, all their wisdom, and something more, something hidden." But as her fingers brushed the device, a low hum filled the chamber. The walls seemed to come alive, symbols shifting and rearranging into patterns that pulsed with an almost hypnotic light. It was beautiful, until the beauty turned into chaos. Suddenly, a cloud of dark particles swirled from the device, spiraling through the room and latching onto the crew's suits. Alarms blared as their systems began to malfunction, lights flickering as the alien virus spread, altering everything it touched. Dr. Sandoval gasped, feeling a strange prickling sensation at the edge of her mind. This isn't just technology, she realized, horrified. It's a biological defense mechanism. It's trying to rewrite us. Humanity's resistance. Captain Lorne watched helplessly from the bridge of the Unity, eyes fixed on the scene as the crisis unfolded. "Get them out of there, now," he barked to his team, his heart pounding. The rescue team responded immediately, coordinating an evacuation of the crew trapped inside the fortress. As they scrambled to extract Dr. Sandoval and her team, the alien particles continued to swarm, surging through the fortress and spreading faster than anticipated. Back on the Unity, Lorne ordered a quarantine of the infected crew members, but the effects of the alien virus had already begun to take hold. Strange symptoms appeared, with crew members experiencing disorientation, heightened senses, and in some cases, sudden bursts of aggression. It was as though the virus was seeking to alter them at a fundamental level, rewriting their very biology to align with the alien civilization's knowledge or control. Dr. Sandoval, shaken but resilient, struggled to find a way to counteract the effects. "Captain, this virus isn't just an infection," she explained, her voice tense. "It's designed to hijack our cognitive functions, maybe even our instincts. It's trying to turn us into something we're not." Captain Lorne nodded grimly. "Then we adapt, Doctor. If this civilization saw fit to protect its secrets, we'll find a way to outsmart them. Humanity has faced worse threats." A desperate solution. As the virus continued to spread, Dr. Sandoval worked frantically, drawing on every piece of data they had gathered from the monolith and the fortress. She discovered that the virus contained fragments of alien DNA designed to alter its hosts, but she also found a vulnerability in its structure, a sequence that could be disrupted with the right kind of energy pulse. "It's risky," she admitted to Captain Lorne, "but if we can hit it with a pulse at a specific frequency, we might be able to disrupt its effects without causing harm to the infected crew." The plan was daring and untested, but with time running out, Lorne gave the order. The engineering team modified their systems to generate the required frequency, and within moments, the pulse surged through the ship, targeting the alien virus. A tense silence followed as they waited to see if the pulse had worked. Slowly, the infected crew members regained clarity, their symptoms fading as the virus dissipated, leaving them disoriented but relieved. Captain Lorne let out a breath he didn't realize he'd been holding. "We've survived," he murmured, a faint smile breaking through his tense expression. Once again, humanity has proven itself resilient. An unforeseen consequence. But as the crew celebrated their victory, the crystalline device in the fortress began to emit a strange glow. It pulsed with newfound intensity, as though acknowledging their defiance. Dr. Sandoval realized that, in overcoming the virus, they had triggered a deeper level of the device's power. The fortress walls shifted again, revealing a hidden chamber beyond the main hall. In this chamber was a large holographic projection, a galaxy map with a series of coordinates marked in red. It was a roadmap to other structures, other artifacts that held the secrets of this ancient civilization. Captain Long's gaze was steady as he looked upon the map, a spark of excitement in his eyes. "This journey has only just begun," he said quietly. "We're not just exploring the stars, we're unlocking the legacy of a race that came before us." But as the Unity prepared to follow the map, distant in the darkness, the Zelleran fleet watched with mounting concern. The humans had survived a threat designed to stop them, and now they were armed with knowledge that could change the galaxy forever. Thorin's expression hardened. He had underestimated the humans once, but he wouldn't make the same mistake again. The path to ancient knowledge lay open, but as the Unity ventured further, it was clear that their journey would bring them closer to allies and enemies they had yet to encounter. Captain Long's gaze lingered on the holographic galaxy map, each red coordinate pulsating with the allure of ancient secrets waiting to be uncovered. These were markers, clues to a vast network of knowledge hidden across the galaxy by a civilization that had once wielded unimaginable power. He knew the risks, but curiosity and duty propelled him forward. Humanity had come too far to turn back now. "Set course for the closest coordinate," Lorne ordered, his voice steady. "We'll proceed carefully, but we're not backing down." As the Unity began its journey, Dr. Sandoval worked tirelessly to decipher additional information embedded within the device. The coordinates each corresponded to ancient strongholds, places that contained more pieces of the technology and knowledge humanity sought. But they also hinted at defense mechanisms, layers of protection designed to challenge, and perhaps even eliminate, any race that dared to seek these secrets unprepared. "Captain, it's possible these places were meant for civilizations much more advanced than ours," Dr. Sandoval warned. "The risks are beyond anything we've encountered." Lorne nodded, understanding her concern but resolved. "We've faced threats that should have defeated us before. If we stop now, we'll never know what we might have achieved." Zelleran intervention. As the Unity moved toward the first coordinate, a familiar shape appeared on their sensors, a Zelleran warship, larger and more imposing than before, flanked by an entire fleet. Commander Xorin had returned, and this time he brought reinforcements. The Zelleran Empire, determined to prevent humanity from accessing the knowledge that lay ahead, was preparing for battle. Captain Long's face hardened as he saw the approaching fleet on the screen. He knew that diplomacy had its limits, and the Zellerans had made their stance clear. "This is it," he said to his crew. "Prepare for confrontation. They won't let us reach that first coordinate without a fight." The crew scrambled to their battle stations, each of them acutely aware that they were outnumbered and outgunned. But humanity had learned to rely on strategy and resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. "Open a channel to Xorin," Long commanded. Sorin's face appeared on the screen, his expression a mask of controlled anger. "Captain Lorne, I warned you. Turn back, or you'll leave me no choice." Captain Lorne met his gaze, unwavering. "You can't stop us, Xorin. Humanity has a right to discover what lies out there, just as much as any other race." Sorin's expression darkened. "Then you will face the consequences." The screen went dark, and almost instantly, the Zelleran fleet advanced, filling the space around Unity with a storm of laser fire and energy weapons. The battle begins. The first strikes rocked the Unity, but the crew held firm, maneuvering expertly between bursts of deadly fire. Captain Lorne and his crew were vastly outnumbered, but they had prepared for this. Humanity's greatest advantage was its adaptability, and Captain Lorne was a master of unconventional tactics. divert power to shields, and get me a tactical readout on the nearest Zelleran ships, Lorne barked, his voice calm but intense. We'll use the debris field for cover. They may have numbers, but we have strategy. The crew executed his orders, weaving the Unity through asteroid fragments and space debris, evading Zelleran attacks with precision. Dr. Sandoval and her science team worked furiously to reconfigure their systems, using the data from the ancient monolith to boost their shields temporarily. It was a risky move, but if successful, it would give them just enough time to withstand the onslaught. The Unity retaliated, aiming at the Zelleran ship's vulnerable spots, exploiting weaknesses that other fleets had missed. The Zelleran vessels, despite their superior firepower, began to suffer losses, their defenses buckling under the relentless counterattacks. A turning point. Despite their impressive defense, the sheer numbers of the Zelleran fleet were beginning to take their toll. Hull integrity was dropping, and several systems were failing. Just when the situation seemed most dire, an unexpected ally arrived. A fleet of allied ships from neighboring human colonies and other small factions who had heard Unity's distress signal warped into the sector. At the helm was Commander Rena Ortiz of the Starwind, the same commander who had supported them before. "Captain Lorne, you didn't think we let you have all the fun, did you?" Ortiz's voice crackled through the comms with a note of fierce loyalty. With newfound strength, the combined forces of Unity and its allies pushed back against the Zelleran fleet, fighting with a determination that defied the odds. The Zelleran ships faltered, unprepared for this level of resistance. Realizing the tide of battle was turning, Zoran ordered a temporary retreat, his fleet vanishing into the depths of space. But he left with a final transmission, his voice filled with warning. "You may have won this time, humans, but you are meddling with powers far beyond your understanding. If you pursue this path, you may bring ruin upon yourselves." As the last Zelleran ship disappeared, Lorne allowed himself a brief moment of relief, but Zoran's words echoed in his mind, a stark reminder that victory came with a price. The cost of curiosity. With the immediate threat of the Zelleran fleet gone, the crew of Unity turned their attention back to the mission. The coordinates from the monolith were still waiting, and they were now closer than ever to uncovering the secrets that had been hidden for millennia. Dr. Sandoval worked to stabilize the ship's systems, damaged from the battle, and patched into the galaxy map projected from the alien device. The map flickered and pulsed, seeming almost alive as they neared their destination. They had one last stretch to go before reaching the first repository of ancient knowledge. But as the crew looked over the damage reports, it became clear that the battle had taken a toll. Several crew members were injured, and supplies were running low. Captain Lorne knew that this pursuit would only grow more perilous the deeper they ventured into the unknown. The Zelleran threat, now hovering over them like a dark cloud, would not fade, and he wondered what other enemies might lie ahead, guarding the galaxy's secrets. In a moment of rare vulnerability, Lorne addressed his crew over the intercom. "We've made it this far because of every single one of you. This journey we're on, it's bigger than all of us. We're fighting not just for ourselves, but for the future of our species. Whatever happens next, know that I am proud to be among the first to venture this far with each of you." Dr. Sandoval's face softened as she listened, sensing the gravity of their mission. They were no longer simply explorers. They were the vanguard of humanity's future, pioneers bearing the weight of countless generations. Approaching the first repository, the Unity prepared for the final approach to the first ancient repository, its hull bruised but its spirit unbroken. Dr. Sandoval continued to monitor the alien device, which now pulsed with a renewed intensity, as if anticipating their arrival. The repository lay within reach, a massive dormant structure built into the remains of an asteroid, glowing faintly with an otherworldly light. But the closer they got, the stronger the pull of the unknown became, like a siren calling them forward, promising answers and dangers that could alter the fate of humanity itself. They were about to unlock knowledge that had remained sealed for eons, hidden by beings who had wielded it with reverence and caution. And as they descended into the heart of the ancient structure, every member of the crew felt the weight of the mysteries that lay just beyond the threshold. Captain Lorne took a deep breath, his voice steady as he issued the final command. "Engage landing protocols. Let's see what we're really made of." The crew braced themselves, ready to face whatever awaited them in the depths of the first repository of ancient secrets. Humanity was poised on the edge of greatness, yet the risks they faced were now greater than ever. The Unity descended toward the asteroid's surface, the glow from the ancient repository casting eerie shadows over the ship's hull. The crew felt an unspoken anticipation as they prepared to uncover the mysteries that lay ahead. Captain Lorne knew this was the moment they had worked so hard to reach. Humanity stood on the brink of discovery and possibly transformation. As the landing gear engaged and the Unity touched down, Dr. Sandoval and a select team of scientists suited up, ready to enter the ancient structure. Their helmets crackled with the sounds of their breathing, the only noise as they took their first cautious steps toward the repository. The entrance was grand and ominous, an enormous doorway lined with alien inscriptions, each one pulsing faintly as if responding to their presence. "This place, it feels like it's alive," murmured Dr. Sandoval, her voice filled with awe. The team pressed forward into the dark corridor, illuminating the path with their suit lights. Alien symbols lined the walls, shifting and morphing as they passed, responding to their every move. The corridor opened up into a massive hall filled with crystalline structures that seemed to hum with stored energy. At the center of the hall stood a pedestal, atop which lay a crystal sphere, a device that radiated a strange, otherworldly energy. "This must be it," Dr. Sandoval whispered, her gloved hand reaching out toward the sphere. "The knowledge we've come all this way to find." But as her fingers brushed the crystal, the entire hall came to life. Light surged through the crystalline structures, casting beams that painted the walls in intricate patterns, each one seeming to tell the story of an ancient civilization that had risen, thrived, and vanished. The knowledge was alive, embedded within the very architecture, waiting for someone worthy to claim it. The unforeseen test. Suddenly, the hall shuddered, and a voice, deep, resonant, and utterly alien, echoed through their comms. It spoke in a language unlike anything they had heard, yet somehow they understood the meaning. "Who are you that seek our knowledge?" the voice intoned. "What wisdom do you wish to gain, and for what purpose?" Captain Lorne, listening from the Unity, responded with calm determination. "We are humanity, a young species perhaps, but one that has fought to survive and to understand the universe. We seek knowledge not for power, but for growth, to safeguard our people, to thrive among the stars, and to learn from those who came before us." The voice fell silent, as if contemplating his words, then spoke again, filled with an almost solemn respect. "You speak of unity and resilience, but words are hollow without deeds. If you are to inherit our wisdom, you must prove yourselves worthy." At that, the crystalline structures began to shift, changing the layout of the hall. The team found themselves in a maze, separated from one another by walls of shimmering energy that pulsed with an unknown force. Each team member was alone, faced with challenges tailored to their deepest fears and weaknesses. It was a test of character, designed to see if humanity's resolve could match their words. Facing the trial, Dr. Sandoval found herself in a chamber filled with complex holograms of alien technology, each one beckoning her to unravel its secrets. But with every step forward, the knowledge seemed to slip further from her grasp, as if testing her patience and perseverance. She understood that this trial was not about intellectual capability alone. It was about humility, the willingness to accept limits, and the patience to earn true understanding. Elsewhere, Captain Lorne faced a different trial. He stood in a dark chamber, surrounded by illusions of his crew in moments of despair and hardship, each one a reminder of the weight of leadership. The test forced him to confront his deepest fears, that he might lead his people into ruin in his pursuit of knowledge. But Lorne's resolve did not falter. He knew that, No matter the outcome, humanity's journey toward knowledge was worth the risk. One by one, each crew member faced their trial, emerging from the maze shaken but strengthened, their resolve tested and fortified. The walls shifted once more, opening up into the central hall, where the crystal sphere now glowed with a brighter light, as if recognizing their worthiness. A shared wisdom. With the trial complete, the voice returned, carrying a note of respect. You have proven yourselves. The knowledge within these walls is now yours, to use with caution and wisdom. Remember, knowledge is a double-edged sword. Use it not to dominate, but to uplift. The crystal sphere flickered, and the ancient knowledge poured forth, transferring directly into the ship's systems. Information on advanced fusion technology, sustainable energy, medicine, and defense streamed into their databases, each piece a testament to the ancient race's legacy. Captain Long's voice cracked with emotion as he addressed his crew over the comms. We've done it. This knowledge isn't just ours, it's humanity's. We've earned our place among the stars, and will use this gift to build a future that honors those who came before. But as the data transfer completed, the voice issued one final warning. Beware of those who seek this knowledge without the strength to bear its weight. They will come for you. Guard this gift, for its power is coveted by many. The Zelleran threat reemerges. Back aboard the Unity, the crew celebrated, their spirits lifted by their victory and the wisdom they now carried. But their joy was short-lived. Scanners lit up with new readings, and Soren's fleet appeared on the fringes of the system, bolstered by even more ships. The Zelleran Empire, having tracked the humans, was ready to take the knowledge by force. Soren's voice crackled through their comms, filled with grim determination. Humans, this is your last chance. Hand over the knowledge, or face annihilation. Captain Lorne took a steadying breath. He knew what was at stake. The knowledge they had obtained could help humanity secure its place among the stars, but only if they survived to use it. He turned to his crew, his voice steady with resolve. We won this knowledge through unity and courage. We're not giving it up. Prepare for battle and remember, this is more than a fight for survival. This is a fight for humanity's future. As the Zelleran fleet moved in, the Unity and its allied ships took defensive positions. The final confrontation was imminent, and every crew member knew that the outcome of this battle would shape the galaxy's future. An unexpected alliance. Just as the first shots were fired, a third fleet appeared, a coalition of species that had once suffered under the Zelleran Empire's harsh rule. Inspired by humanity's resilience and their willingness to seek knowledge responsibly, these races had come to stand with unity, forming an alliance of the oppressed. Soren's expression twisted with rage as he saw the unexpected reinforcements. The balance had shifted once more, and he knew he was now outnumbered. The battle that followed was fierce, with the Ally forces and the Zelleran Empire clashing in a massive exchange of fire and maneuvers. The sky lit up with explosions as ships weaved through the chaos, each side fighting with everything they had. But the combined strength of humanity and its new allies proved to be too much for the Zellerans. Soren's fleet, battered and defeated, retreated, leaving humanity victorious. A legacy of unity. With the battle won and the Zelleran threat momentarily subdued, Captain Lorne gathered his crew, along with the Allied leaders, in the main hall of the Unity. The crystal sphere lay on the table before them, glowing faintly, a reminder of the knowledge they had earned and the unity they had forged. We came here as explorers, but we've become something more, Lorne said, his voice filled with gratitude and pride. Together, we've proven that knowledge and unity are the greatest strengths in this universe. This is not just humanity's journey, it's a journey for every race willing to work together toward a shared future. Dr. Sandoval smiled, looking around at the gathered crew and allies. They had started as a small group seeking answers, but they had found something far greater, a coalition bound not by conquest, but by a shared commitment to growth and discovery. As they prepared to leave, Captain Lorne felt a renewed sense of purpose. Humanity had found its place among the stars, and with it, the promise of a brighter, united future for all. The Unity and its allied fleet sailed through the vastness of space, their destination the second and final repository indicated by the monolith's map. After their victory over the Zelleran fleet and the Unity forged with their newfound allies, the crew of the Unity knew they were on the cusp of something monumental. Captain Lorne stood on the bridge, looking out into the endless darkness, his expression a mix of anticipation and solemnity. They had come so far, faced unimaginable threats, and now, with humanity's resilience tested and proven, they approached the greatest secret the galaxy had to offer. "Captain," Dr. Sandoval's voice came through the intercom, her tone reverent. "We're nearing the coordinates. The readings here are unlike anything I've ever seen. It's as though the very fabric of space is bending around this place." Captain Lorne nodded. "Prepare the crew. This is what we've come for." The ship's lights dimmed as they neared the repository, a massive structure woven into an asteroid field illuminated by a faint, ethereal glow. It looked ancient yet alive, its surfaces shifting and pulsing as if aware of their approach. The repository dwarfed the one they had found before, its presence radiating a quiet power that resonated with each crew member. Entering the heart of knowledge. Once the Unity docked, Captain Lorne, Dr. Sandoval, and a select team suited up, preparing to enter the heart of the repository. The air around them felt dense with the weight of knowledge and history. As they stepped inside, they found themselves in a vast chamber lined with alien artifacts, each radiating an energy that seemed to hum in time with their heartbeats. In the center of the chamber stood a grand pedestal, atop which floated a translucent crystal, pulsing with an unearthly light. This was the heart of the repository, the ultimate source of the knowledge they sought. Dr. Sandoval's voice was hushed with awe. This is the culmination of everything we've been through." But as she reached out to interact with the crystal, a hologram materialized before them, a projection of a tall, ethereal figure, robed in light and crowned with symbols of ancient wisdom. Its voice resonated through the chamber, carrying the weight of millennia. "You who have come so far," the figure intoned, its gaze sweeping over the humans and their allies, "you have proven yourselves resilient and united, qualities necessary for those who would carry our legacy. I am the last remnant of the Larian, the ancient race who crafted these repositories to preserve our knowledge for those who would come after." Captain Lorne stepped forward, his voice respectful. "We are honored, Guardian. We have come seeking knowledge to uplift our people and protect our worlds. We wish to learn from the wisdom of those who came before us." The Larian Guardian's gaze softened, as though seeing something familiar in the humans before it. "You possess the strength of unity, a strength we once held dear. We entrusted our knowledge not to rulers or conquerors, but to those who valued wisdom, resilience, and cooperation." The final trial. But as the Larian Guardian continued, its expression grew grave. "Understand this, knowledge is not without cost. For every truth gained, there is a burden. The secrets within this repository hold the power to transform worlds, to forge alliances, or to incite ruin. Before you receive our final gift, you must face one last trial, a test not of strength or intelligence, but of purpose." The chamber shifted, and the crystal pulsed, projecting visions around them. Images of thriving civilizations appeared, followed by scenes of destruction, showing how knowledge could be used both to uplift and to devastate. The crew stood transfixed, the weight of responsibility settling heavily on their shoulders. The Larian Guardian's voice filled the room. "If you accept this knowledge, you accept the responsibility to wield it wisely, to protect rather than dominate, to unite rather than divide. Do you understand the price of what you seek?" Captain Lorne looked to his team and his allies. Each face reflected the same determination. They knew the burden they were about to take on, but they also knew the potential for growth, for unity, and for a brighter future. "We understand," Lorne replied, his voice steady. "We will carry this knowledge with responsibility and honor. Humanity will not repeat the mistakes of those who sought power without understanding. The Guardian regarded them for a moment, then nodded. Then the legacy of the Larian is yours. The transfer of knowledge. The crystal glowed brightly, and beams of energy connected with each member of the team, flooding their minds with visions, ideas, and technology beyond their wildest dreams. They saw sustainable energy systems that could power worlds, healing technologies that could cure the incurable, and defense mechanisms that could shield entire planets. This was not simply knowledge, it was the foundation for a new era. Dr. Sandoval's eyes were filled with tears as she processed the information. "It's beautiful," she whispered. "This is more than we ever imagined." The transfer took only moments, but it felt like a lifetime. When it was complete, the team stood in silence, each of them forever changed by what they had seen. They were now the keepers of ancient wisdom, a responsibility as heavy as it was hopeful. As they turned to leave, the Lurian Guardian offered a final blessing. "Go forth, bearers of our legacy. May your path be one of wisdom and unity, and may you guide others as we have guided you." A new dawn for humanity. Back aboard the Unity, the crew celebrated not with cheers, but with a solemn sense of accomplishment. They had achieved something extraordinary, something that would reshape humanity's future and inspire generations to come. Captain Lorne addressed his crew and allies over the intercom. "Today, we carry not only our hopes, but the hopes of a civilization long gone. We are the bridge between the past and the future, and it's up to us to honor that legacy with the choices we make." The ship's engines hummed to life, and the Unity began its journey back to known space. Word of their discoveries would soon spread, and the knowledge they now held would ignite a new era of cooperation, resilience, and growth. Humanity, once scattered and struggling, had found its place among the stars, not as conquerors, but as stewards, protectors, and explorers. The Lurian Legacy. As the Unity made its way through the galaxy, news of humanity's achievements spread to other races, some of whom had once doubted their strength. The allies who had joined humanity in their struggle against the Zelleran Empire remained close, bound by the shared commitment to progress and understanding. The Lurian legacy, once hidden and protected for eons, had found a worthy successor in humanity. Captain Lorne knew that this was just the beginning. They would face challenges, confront threats, and make difficult choices. But humanity had proven itself, and they were ready. They carried with them not only ancient wisdom, but also the strength to forge their own path. They have faced the trials, earned their place, and now, as they traveled back toward Earth, they looked forward to the dawn of a new age, one where knowledge was a gift, not a weapon, and where unity was humanity's greatest strength. In the end, it wasn't just the secrets of the stars they had uncovered, but the true potential within themselves.